Hey everyone, I'm Steven.
And I'm Clay.
And we are the Hills Maniacs. And today we're going to be doing our WWE 2019 Royal Rumble pay-per-view predictions. Starting with the Cruiserweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match. This might be a really good match. I don't know if they're going to put it on the kickoff show or not.
So we got the champion, Buddy Murphy, defending against
Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, and Hideo Itami. Who you got?
I'm going to say that Murphy retains the Cruiserweight title. I mean, Kalisto's already had it twice. Hideo Itami, I really don't know
much about him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll give it to him. And then Akira Tozawa, is that the other one? Yeah.
Akira Tozawa.
He's already held the title for like a second, so
It was 6 days.
I don't think he's championship worthy yet. I mean, if they do take it off of Murphy, I think they'd give it to Hideo Itami, just because he's the only one in the match that hasn't had it. But I'm picking Murphy to retain.
I picked Hideo Itami. I don't know, out of that whole bunch, I don't know if Murphy should retain the title. He's been the Cruiserweight champion for a while. Honestly, I don't watch 205 Live much. I mean, I don't really... This isn't one of the matches I necessarily care about that much, but I know it's going to be a really good match because every Cruiserweight match I've seen at the pay-per-views have
It's
been
like watching NXT.
Like the last one with Buddy Murphy and...
Cedric Alexander.
Mustafa Ali, or Cedric? Whatever.
Oh, Mustafa was last.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali, that one was really...
He won the title off of Cedric, which was
a really good match. And this one's going to be a fatal 4-way. Even if it is on the kickoff show, I feel like they're going to kick off with a bang.
It'll be a really good match. Yeah.
But I chose Hideo Itami just because I feel like, of all them people, if Buddy is going to drop the title, like you said, give it to Hideo Itami. He's never been champion. And he's like one of those kind of hard-hitting people. Like, he does the go-to-sleep as his finisher and all that.
Right.
And he's the one that broke Brian Kendrick's nose or mouth or whatever with the go-to-sleep. He's back now.
Good.
Next up, we have the United States Championship.
I think you know who I'm picking.
That they randomly...
I
have no idea.
Rusev Day.
I have no idea who you're picking.
I'm picking Rusev to retain the United States Championship.
Against Shinsuke Nakamura. What happened to no rematches?
I hate Shinsuke. Shinsuke's just getting a rematch.
Well, they're
not doing rematch clauses, so they just give them rematches.
Yeah, it's the new era.
Right.
But yeah, I said Rusev because I feel like he's got a bigger title reign left.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to lose it already.
For his title.
I don't care who he fights next. What if he fights like Samoa Joe or something?
That would be a good match.
For the United States title.
But
I'm glad Rusev's finally doing something relevant again. Rather than just like, teaming up with Aiden English.
What's this make him now? A 3-time
United States Championship. That's the only title he's held in WWE.
Unless they have the title bounce back and forth between Shinsuke and Rusev.
I don't want them doing this like they did with AJ and Shinsuke, where they fight 5 times for the championship.
That would get boring.
Once is enough. They fight in the rematch for the title, and that's it. Just end it there. Move on.
Yeah.
All right, next match, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. You got The Miz and Shane McMahon versus The Bar.
I said The Bar.
No, I'm picking Miz and Shane. Because if the rumor is that Shane is going to turn on The Miz and then they're going to fight at WrestleMania.
So they're not winning the titles then.
I think it would make more sense to have them win the titles and then have Shane turn on The Miz, kind of like Ambrose did with Rollins. They win the titles, then Shane turns on The Miz. Miz loses the titles back to The Bar or to someone else, and then they go on from there and fight at WrestleMania.
Of all the people in this match,
I think it would make more sense to have them win the titles and then have Shane cost him, because then it's like Shane actually cost The Miz everything in order to get this match.
But of all the people in this match that I hate the most is The Miz. I don't know why. I've just never liked The Miz.
Because I like The Miz.
And teaming up with Shane McMahon is just kind of stupid. Honestly, there's all these other better tag teams on SmackDown. Like, where the heck is Sanity? Even Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows could have a shot at that. They should be taking on The Bar for the tag team titles. And they did once, I think. Or maybe not.
I don't know.
But, so I said The Bar is going to retain because I think the Bludgeon Brothers are on their way back And I think they'll get into a feud with the Bar and maybe
but again,
win their titles back.
Again, what a better way to turn on The Miz than to have them fight the Bludgeon Brothers for the titles and Shane just walk out or beat up The Miz or whatever.
I don't think that's
and then leave him hanging when he fights against. It would be exactly what happened with Rollins and Ambrose, where Rollins had to take on AOP all by himself. And lost the titles.
Yeah. No, I think it's
But it would be Miz and Daniel Bryan. It would be SmackDown's version of the
match.
Shield.
I don't know why they feel like that's a big thing that everybody wants to see. I mean,
it is. I want to see it.
You guys might see,
I want to see it. I want to see Miz and Shane as tag team champions.
I just don't think that's going to be my least favorite.
I don't care if they hold them for a second. I just want to see them as tag team champions.
I don't like the Bar either. But Shane McMahon and The Miz, like, taking away opportunity from all these other tag teams.
I'm excited for this match. I want to see Miz and Shane.
Okay. Well, we all have our opinions.
Right.
Okay, the Women's Royal Rumble match. Who do you... I'll let you go first. Who do you got for that?
All right, this was a hard decision.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Charlotte because I think Becky will lose to Asuka. Which that's my pick. I think Asuka's gonna win the SmackDown Women's title. So spoiler for my later pick, but I think Becky's gonna lose, and then Charlotte will win the Rumble, fight Asuka again at WrestleMania, but this time Becky will help her win rather than help her lose. And then we can have the 4 Horsewomen versus the 4 Horsewomen because Sasha and Bayley will get involved, and then
see the thing with this is there's so many different scenarios of how they can lead to Ronda versus Becky and or Charlotte. Is like if Ronda drops her title to Sasha, and then Ronda enters the Rumble and wins the Rumble, then she might want to challenge. But I don't know why she would want to be the one to challenge Charlotte or
There's
Charlotte
so many different
Becky.
Choices for what's going on.
Yeah, that could happen. So what I said was, I feel like they're gonna pull a Bret Hart and Lex Luger thing, where Charlotte and Becky are both gonna win the Rumble. They haven't done that in a while, where they've had 2 people
and they haven't done it for the women's yet.
And it's going to be indecisive. So either, and then when it gets to the point of WrestleMania... So then
you're saying triple threat match at WrestleMania?
Either that,
or are they each going to fight for a separate title? Or they're going to choose 2 separate
titles to fight. Like Charlotte might want to go back after...
And Becky would fight Ronda?
Because they both want Ronda Rousey. Like, they both want to fight Ronda Rousey.
So make it a triple threat match.
I think it'll be a triple threat, but we all want to see the Ronda versus Becky match we never got to see at Survivor Series. But I still think it might end up being a triple threat match.
Like I said, that's the thing with the Rumble, though. Because, one, we don't know everybody that's in it. Because there could be... but I mean, there could be surprise, entrances and stuff, or NXT call-ups that are coming up that we don't know about. And 2, you don't really know where they're going with the storyline, at least for the women's titles. Because, if Charlotte wins, then you got to see Charlotte versus Asuka again, or Charlotte versus Ronda again. Whereas if Becky loses to Asuka and wins the Rumble, then you can see Becky versus Asuka or Becky versus Ronda, and then it's... But is Becky going to be in 2 matches?
See, you got to think of this, too, because we have Elimination Chamber coming up.
True.
So if it's, one of them wins the Rumble and someone else wins the Elimination Chamber, if they do an Elimination Chamber match for that, because they got that women's tag team title one...
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know if they'll do a women's elimination chamber.
That's true.
The thing is, everyone's saying... I've been hearing a lot of rumors that Ronda's going to SmackDown because for the new Fox deal that SmackDown's getting, they want Ronda Rousey to be on there. I don't know if they'll do that yet. It's still pretty early because that's not happening until almost the end of the year. That merging.
So maybe they move her there for SummerSlam and then they fight 4 Horsemen. Women versus 4 Horsewomen.
Ronda might not go to SmackDown, but if she would win the Rumble, I feel like she would go after. They would have her go after the SmackDown Women's title then. But I'm saying Becky and Charlotte.
You're saying Becky and Charlotte.
And they're both on the apron. They both fall off. Whatever, however they want to do it. I feel like they're both gonna win.
All right. Next is the Universal Championship match. Who you got? Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor.
See, this one I had a tough time with too because I have Brock Lesnar retaining, but it's it depends on who I think is going to win the Men's Royal Rumble of whether or not.
True.
But I said Brock Lesnar just because I think he's not coming out as Demon Finn Balor because they don't want to put the title on Finn Balor yet
Right,
But
and he's undefeated
I guess
as
Vince
the Demon.
McMahon wants Demon Finn Balor to remain undefeated.
Right.
So they're going to have where he won't come out as the Demon, because then they want him to get the... This is just like a filler match. It might be kind of like the Daniel Bryan match at Survivor Series with Brock. This might be a good match,
but
for a while at least. Like, Finn might almost overcome the odds. But, I mean, what if he does win? I mean, that's exciting, too. And, like, Brock just leaves and doesn't come back, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But he goes, or, you know, Finn wins that and then goes to Elimination Chamber, defends it or whatever. Then WrestleMania, and then the Royal Rumble winner would fight him. I mean, but I'm saying Brock Lesnar. I just feel like...
I'm going with Balor just because I feel like Braun Strowman is going to come out and cost Lesnar in some way. Whether it's, you know, directly attacking him.
Braun Strowman?
Or...
You said?
Yeah. Braun Strowman will come out and attack or cost Lesnar in some way because he feels it's easier for him to beat Finn than it is for him to beat Lesnar because he's never beaten Brock Lesnar. So,
okay, let me pose this scenario then. If that happens, Braun Strowman helps Finn Balor win the title. What if they end up having just Braun versus Brock, not for anything, just Braun versus Brock at WrestleMania, and then Braun finally beats Brock Lesnar? It's not like they won't have the Universal title, but Braun finally beats Brock Lesnar, and then Brock just fades off into obscurity, goes back to UFC, whatever he's doing.
Hopefully forever.
Yeah. Again, fingers crossed. But, and then Braun Strowman can then go on and become #1 contender eventually. Off of that wave of momentum.
But I think Balor's gonna win because Lesnar is going to be distracted in some way by Braun Strowman.
That's a good point. I didn't consider that. But
I'm picking Finn Balor to win the Universal title.
But then again, you got to think too. Braun Strowman's title opportunity was taken away by Finn Balor.
Yes, but like I said though, Strowman I think will realize that he's never beaten Brock Lesnar, and it's probably easier for him to beat Finn Balor because he is the smaller man.
That's true.
With the David and Goliath scenario going on.
But at the same time, it kind of feels like this Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa thing on NXT. Like, what if Braun Strowman feels he's the one that has to beat Brock Lesnar? So he'd want to face Brock. He's the only one that could probably actually beat Brock. He's just gotten unlucky in the past because his last fight back at Crown Jewel, that pay-per-view nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah, nobody watched
Braun
that.
Strowman was hit by Baron Corbin, you know, and then that weakened him for the match. You know, however you want to play that off, but.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Strowman's even going to get involved because they did take him out of this match for whatever reason. But I think it would make more sense to have Balor win based on Strowman's interference in some way so that Strowman can then fight Balor to try to win the title. And then he can either win or, you know, whatever. But I think Balor's going to win the Universal title.
I just wish Braun Strowman still had the Money in the Bank contract. Because that whole thing happened back in Hell in a Cell, and then now he doesn't have it. I mean, that would fit in perfectly here with this scenario. Like, have Finn win a #1 contenders match, faces Brock at Royal Rumble, and Braun Strowman cash in.
And it also makes you wonder, though, if Roman hadn't left with leukemia, would he have lost the title to Lesnar
at Crown Jewel? Probably not. I think he would still be champion. So, this whole scenario would be different. I say that all the time. If somebody gets injured, would something different have happened?
Right. It's like, if so-and-so didn't do this, would this have happened? You know, but whatever. Let's move on.
So
we'll move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship match. I already said I'm picking Asuka.
I have Asuka as well.
I like Becky Lynch, but I think Asuka's going to retain because I don't think it'll fit with the storyline of Becky Lynch and Asuka if Becky wins again. Because I think she's going to enter the Rumble. I don't think she's going to win. But I think she will end up entering the Rumble, whether she takes someone else's number or whether she already had a number or whatever.
Takes out Carmella or something.
That would be
takes
great.
Out number 30, yeah.
Please do. Or Liv Morgan or somebody.
Here's the thing. With that, though, it's like, now who will Asuka face at WrestleMania, do you think? Let's pose that to you guys, too. Who do you think, if Asuka retains the title here at the Royal Rumble, who do you think she's going to end up defending the title against at WrestleMania. Because if Becky Lynch and Charlotte, or one of them two, wins the Rumble, goes on to face Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, who do you think? Asuka? Is there anyone on SmackDown?
Personally, I feel as though
facing Asuka?
I don't necessarily think she's worthy of fighting Asuka, but the way they're working this storyline in, I think it will either be Naomi or Mandy Rose. Based off the way they've been trying to hype up Mandy Rose kind of with this rivalry with Naomi and what she's been doing with Jimmy Uso.
I guess.
And the fact that she just beat Naomi on SmackDown. You know, either that or Sonya Deville. You know, one of them. The Iconics aren't here, so they don't count. Nikki Cross, I think, is on Raw, so we can't even count her. So
no, she's probably going to SmackDown.
I think I'm gonna go with either Naomi or Mandy Rose if Asuka has to fight somebody at WrestleMania. Either that or they'll do something at Elimination Chamber, like a #1 contenders match or something. But those are my two picks for who might fight Asuka.
All right, and then on the flip side of that, we have the Raw Women's title, Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks.
Who you got?
I got Ronda because I feel like something's going to happen. If they bring out, you know, Shayna Baszler and them for the 4 Horsewomen thing to help Ronda retain, or even Becky and Charlotte. See, that's where it's going to come into play. I think I get this now. So spoiler warning if this does happen. I'm sorry about this. If I just predicted the future. Ronda and Sasha are going to be fighting. Sasha's already going to have Bayley out there to back her up, I feel like.
Right.
And Ronda, I don't think she'll have Natalya out there to help her, because Natalya will probably be in the Rumble, and so is Bayley, but still. And then
she might, but
Charlotte and Becky are going to come running out to try and cost Ronda her title. And then Shayna Baszler and the others are going to come down to try and, you know, even the odds to help. And then in all that ensuing chaos, Ronda Rousey's going to win. Sasha will be distracted. Ronda wins. Then they'll set up the whole 4 Horsewomen thing. That's what I'm starting to think now. So I have Ronda Rousey as retaining the championship.
All right. I'm picking Sasha for the same reason, but I feel as though Becky and Charlotte will come out first, distract Ronda, allowing Sasha to win, and then the other 3 members of the 4 Horsewomen from NXT will come out, because they'll all be in there beating up Ronda Rousey, and then you'll get 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen at either WrestleMania or SummerSlam, like I said.
If they are doing it early, though, it would make sense to do it at WrestleMania and not wait until SummerSlam.
Right. I'm picking Sasha Banks, though, to win the title.
So, you think she's good enough to beat Ronda Rousey?
I think with help,
all that stuff
help, either distraction or help or whatever.
People are starting to doubt if Sasha's a worthy contender.
That's because every time she wins the title, she gets injured.
Or she drops it.
Or she drops it the next night.
She's not very good at having title retentions, but she's still.
She does have good matches, but she's not very good at
That might be a good
champion.
match. I just think Ronda.
I'm glad they're giving it to somebody else other than Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax.
True.
You know, not that I don't think they deserve it, but I'm just glad it's someone different than those two. All right, the next match, the WWE title match between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. I'm picking Bryan to retain.
Me too.
I just feel like it'll build better. If they keep the storyline, I think it'll build better if Bryan is champion still.
Because I feel like AJ Styles is moving on from that.
Right. I feel like he might go to Raw eventually and, you know, fight for the Intercontinental title or whatever, or the Universal title. I mean, Finn Balor versus AJ Styles for the WWE or the Universal title might be a good match if Balor wins and whatever. But I think you're right. I think AJ's gonna move on, even if he doesn't fight for a title for a while. He'll move on with a different rivalry.
Yeah, because I've heard rumors that his next rival is gonna be Randy Orton. I don't know what would play into that. Like at WrestleMania, he's going to face
unless
Randy
AJ loses, enters the Rumble, then Orton eliminates him, or vice versa,
something
and
like
then
that. Or whatever, however that's going to happen. I feel like
because AJ will realize that he has to enter the Rumble in order to get a shot at the title again. But then Orton cost him that shot, so then they could build off of that.
AJ was champion long enough, and now Daniel Bryan's champion. I feel like they need to move AJ Styles.
Let him keep going with it for a while.
Even if it's for the United States title or just no title at all, just move AJ into another like rivalry and stuff.
Right.
All right, and finally, probably the best match we're looking forward to.
The men's Royal
Rumble match.
Who you got?
Okay. I had to do a lot of collaborating with this one because
yes, you did. You were thinking for a while.
I could not think.
I bet your brain hurts.
I don't know if they would have.
See,
SmackDown.
again, this is hard because if they have a return that deserves a title shot, then they could make them end up winning, and then our prediction is wrong. But if they go with the obvious choices, then.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't think they...
That's the thing about the Royal Rumble, and that's why I like it so much, is because you never know what you're going to get. Unfortunately, last year Shinsuke won, but we don't talk about that.
I was going to go with Andrade from SmackDown.
Okay.
Because I've seen he's had two really great matches with Rey Mysterio so far, and I feel like they're trying to push him to keep him in the company because he was probably one of the people that was going to go to AEW.
Right.
I can't speak. But
I think that'd be a good match.
I don't know if he's going to win the Rumble necessarily, but maybe that's who will be next in line. Like he'll win an Elimination Chamber or something and face Daniel Bryan.
Just get a shot or something. But
I don't think they'll have SmackDown win because the past 2 years, SmackDown Superstars won the Rumble.
Right.
At least in the men's one. Like 2 years ago, you had Randy Orton.
And then last year
was Shinsuke.
Right.
So now I think it's going to be Raw. And it's going to be Drew McIntyre. Because even if it's Seth Rollins if it's Finn Balor or Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania as Universal Champion.
It would be a good match with Drew McIntyre.
I think Drew McIntyre, because he's kind of like that next Roman Reigns type of guy. And with Roman gone...
That's true.
I feel like they'll push Drew. Drew McIntyre will be the one that slays the beast.
Right.
He'll be the one that conquers Brock Lesnar. And then he'll be the one on top... And then Braun Strowman will have to fight Drew McIntyre to get the title. Or Seth Rollins,
that's a fair assessment.
Or Finn Balor, whatever.
I picked Seth Rollins to win.
I feel like that was the easy pick because everyone's saying
it. Right, everybody's saying it, and I have heard rumors that he's supposed to fight Lesnar at WrestleMania. Because technically, back when he cashed in the Money in the Bank and added himself into the WWE title match. He pinned Lesnar, didn't he? Or did he pin Roman?
Who?
Rollins, when he cashed in at WrestleMania. Did he pin Roman?
He pinned Brock Lesnar, I think. Because he landed on Lesnar.
I think he ended up pinning Lesnar to win the title or something. So I think this would be a good way to
And he has picked up a victory over Brock Lesnar in the past, I believe. They had a match the one time when Seth was still WWE champion.
Right.
And he beat Brock Lesnar.
And I do kind of want to see Seth Rollins in the main title picture again. I mean, he has been fighting for the Intercontinental title. And technically, I guess right now that is the main title on Raw with Lesnar not defending. But I kind of want to see Rollins in the main championship picture again. So I think that would be a good way. And even if they don't have him fight Lesnar or Balor, he could go to SmackDown and you could have Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins for the WWE title,
or even Drew
which
McIntyre.
Would also be a good match.
Anybody who wins the Rumble, they could end up... we could think Braun Strowman won the Rumble. He's going for the Universal title. What if he goes over and murders Daniel Bryan and wins the WWE title?
Right.
Then he'll at least be doing something. He'll have the main title that's not, I guess, really the main title. Because the Universal title is that one.
But still, I think Rollins winning the Rumble, I think it's the obvious choice, but I think it's also the best choice. Because I do think Rollins versus either Bryan or AJ or Lesnar or Balor would be a great match to see at WrestleMania, depending on who Rollins chooses to face, if he would win. So I'm picking Rollins. You're picking Drew McIntyre. We're both going with Raw because SmackDown has won.
Just look at everybody that's in this Rumble this year.
And I don't think it really fits for a SmackDown star to win. I don't think there's quite a storyline where, if somebody like an Andrade or a Rey Mysterio or a Randy Orton or whatever, I don't think there's really a storyline being built up that would work for a SmackDown superstar to win the Rumble. So that's why, if it is going to be somebody from Raw, I think it will be one of the main guys, like Rollins or McIntyre.
I mean, what What if WWE just swerves us and we get R-Truth at number 30 wins the Rumble? Yeah, right. I know, I didn't say it either. Okay, and then who do you think is going to either come back in the Rumble or make a special guest appearance?
All right, well, I have a couple, but the main one that I think is going to return is Kevin Owens.
I said Kevin or Sami.
Or Sami, or both.
They're both rumored to be coming back from their injuries.
I mean, I've heard many rumors about many different people, you know, Hogan, The Rock, whatever, that might be in this match. You know, we might have Kane, Undertaker, whatever. But I think Owens is going to be the big return this year in the Royal Rumble. Him and or Sami Zayn, because they're both supposed to be coming back. Now, if there's a surprise entrant from like an NXT call-up or something, I think it'll be Lars Sullivan.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think he's going to be in this
because
Rumble.
We know that, like, EC3 is probably going to be in it, you know, so it won't be that big of a surprise because we have seen him. But with Lars Sullivan lurking, we haven't really seen him yet, so maybe he might enter the Rumble and, you know, and something could happen there where...
Or what if Braun Strowman enters the Rumble hoping to get his opportunity at the Universal Championship.
And
he's on the cusp of winning this thing, and then Lars Sullivan, even if he's not maybe in the Rumble, Lars Sullivan comes out. I really want to see Lars Sullivan versus Braun Strowman.
I just want to see Lars Sullivan. So
he's been lurking for a while now.
Right.
He's lurking around. You got to find him.
Right.
So anyway, that's our predictions for this year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. All in all, there's probably going to be some really good matches.
I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble match, obviously, both of them.
Yep.
Because you know, that's my favorite event of the entire year. I don't know why. I just love the Royal Rumbles. And then the SmackDown Tag Team title match and the United States Championship match. Those are the matches I'm looking forward to. Just because I want Shane and Miz to win, and I love Rusev Day.
I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view. But let us know what you guys think. What are you looking forward to the most at this year's Royal Rumble pay-per-view? Out of those matches, who do you think's going to win?
Right. Let us know which one of us got most matches correct. You know, for fun, it's kind of a bragging rights thing. Or if you agree with either of us, or if we're just two blabbing idiots. If you agree with our picks, you know, if you think someone different will win one of the Rumbles, you know.
We'd love to know what you guys think.
Right. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I hope we do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the way WWE's been going, you never know. But I hope it's a good match.
It's the new era.
Or a good event. And overall, I'm looking forward to it. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Take care.